Hi everyone!
Hey guys.
There'll be a momentary hello from Logan whenever he gets back.
You didn't see that?
I definitely did, and so did everyone on stream.
Yeah, I know everyone on stream saw it.
Welcome back to episode 7 of CephalonChat.
Let me just fix this real quick.
If you haven't been here
There
before,
we go.
hi, I'm Becky.
Hi, I'm Jason. Don't mind me. Just
And
doing something that I should have tested before.
nice. And Logan just woke up from a nap. So he will be back momentarily.
Yeah, I know, Kuva. So how's everyone doing? Okay, I didn't do these things last minute.
He
It
totally
just,
did.
you can't really. I have no excuse. I had Warframe closed when I was testing it, so I didn't know how big the window had to be, so I just kind of eyeballed it.
Yeah, Logan, I called Logan on Snapchat twice. I messaged him personally. And I see that he's like away, so he still has his computer open. And Jason's like, he's probably asleep. And I'm like, no, maybe he's just busy or something. His nap timer ran out. But hey, he's up and we're not too late.
Yep, he's up and he'll be on in just a few short, hopefully seconds.
Yeah.
So
Anyway,
how's everyone doing today?
Yeah, how y'all doing? That's good. I'm pretty sure we're aware of how you've been doing, considering we've been playing Terraria for the past several days. It's good to hear, Pensy.
How's Australia doing, Pensy?
Yeah, how's Australia? Several days. Yeah, several days. We've been playing a lot. A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But we're not a Terraria show, so we won't bore you with the details. There's no riots, so pretty good. You know what? Honestly, it sucks here.
Becky's game plan. I'm going to move to the mountains because
You couldn't survive in the mountains.
There's no crime rate in the mountains.
There's no crime rate in the mountains.
Because you can't arrest a cougar for murder.
Oh my God.
And I'm willing to deal with those odds.
Cougar, eh?
Yeah, I know. I won't make the joke.
You both are terrible. Logan, introduce yourself.
Hi there, I'm Logan. Sorry for being a little late. I fell asleep.
Don't worry.
It's alright, homie.
Okay. So I have decreed that we are fishing in the Valis for early lunch with Kanzu, and then I can do housekeeping and like recap stuff, and then we can do some short Reddit rants.
Not Reddit rants. We were just gonna look at the top.
Not Reddit rants, but the Reddit recap. Different.
Wow, Logan's
Different
not
R
even
word.
on Warframe yet.
Yeah, this time. Sorry, I just had to open this.
How was your nap? Pensy wants to know how your nap was on a scale of 1 to 10.
It was like an 8. That was like an 8 nap.
That's
I
good.
Say, like, within like the first 10 minutes, I was probably asleep.
Yeah, it's always the hardest part.
Alarm and your boy went right back to the snoozer. That's what I'm saying. So I set the alarm on Alexa and on my phone, and I just tell Alexa to shut up. Apparently, right past the phone. Okay, I got ready to put on one screen. I got the stream on the other thing. Let me just pull it both frame.
Alright. While Logan's doing that, quick housekeeping. We have a Twitter now. I am primarily the one managing the Twitter. If you want to go follow it, it's at CephalonChat. Easy. Today, there's a picture of a very cute dog. Because before the stream, I went out since my local area is opening up, and we went out and walked dogs at the dog park. So if you want to see an IRL Kubro who would not stop barking at the bicyclists, go ahead and check out that Twitter.
Yeah, we're also looking for a different social media manager, so feel free to hit us up with like a
Ouch, my feelings.
with a resume and like a
My feelings, they're hurt. The dog, Cheyenne's so cute though.
Immediately slapped.
But let's see. Other news, Warframe news, because we usually just do like a little recap from since the last time we streamed. Let's see, the Prime Vault has changed. It is no longer Necros and Oberon. It is now Nova and Trinity, along with Dual Commas, Prime, Soma Prime, I think. You know, some accessories like the Prime Kubro armor, the one sigil. You know, some pretty neat stuff. So, you've got plenty of time to go ahead and get the relics for those guys. Yes, read Deadlock, please. We're waiting. It's probably going to come next week. Hopefully early next week.
sorry, just had a interruption.
No, that's okay. There's new augments in the game. Jason continues to riot for
Lack
there's
of
still
a
no
wisp
wisp
augment.
augment. But, new augments for, let me just check my
Saturn,
panel.
Nidus, Atlas, and
Valkyr.
Valkyr, yes.
So, cool new augments. Check those out if you want them. Let's see, is there any other housekeeping that we need to do?
If you guys didn't know, if you use the code GOLDEN in the promo code, you'll get your own Deadlock inspired glyph, so I would totally do that. It's got like the founder's golden hand on it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. If you haven't yet and you are in the Discord server, or if you are new to the chat, please join the Discord server. We have a poll up there. I know it just says like for the next Tenno's Next Top model, but please continue to submit themes if you haven't already, or even after today if you have. So that we can take the top picks. We do have at least some like common answers in the survey, so we will be able to tell you what today's theme will be. Which, Logan, Jason, I had an idea, which I will just type in dev chat real quick, and then you can answer it then. An idea.
An idea. Just the singular.
Yes.
One singular idea.
Alright. I think that's all the recapping I need to do.
Anyone else have anything to say? Logan, you got anything you want to talk about?
Before we get into
Before
Reddit
we go
recap?
into, yeah, This Week in Reddit.
Also, Jason, did you add the picture for Ludens thing that I sent earlier?
Oh, no, I completely slipped my mind.
No!
I can bring it up during, so don't worry about it.
Alright, because it's a very important photo.
Yeah, I can replace it with something else during the show.
Alright. Whenever we get to that question.
Well, I think that's it for me, or for housekeeping wise. I think that's everything we had.
Alright. Let's see, alright. Is it a Reddit recap time?
Yeah, I think it's time for This Week in Reddit. Or This Week in Warframe. Whichever one sounds better. I think Warframe sounds better.
This Week in Warframe?
But I can just hide this one and bring up
more alliteration.
the window. So yeah,
We
if you
love
guys want
alliteration
to
here.
follow along, Logan and Becky, you guys can just go to r/Warframe and then do sort by top this week instead of whatever the default is.
Will do.
just the front page of Reddit. Like, oh, why is there a Minecraft village? Why is there a Minecraft village? Gotta make it more frame.
Top this week.
So yeah, we just want to experiment with some different shorter segments and see what, floats well, sits well.
Yeah, we were running to do the Reddit rants where we just get angry at Reddit, scroll
Yeah,
through.
we can't find any good Reddit rant posts. I'm sure when Deadlock comes out, there's gonna be plenty of them, with people being too disappointed with what they thought Protea was supposed to be, because they did it with Wisp.
Or any of that nonsense.
They did it with. They didn't do it with Gauss. They didn't. There's always people who are gonna pick and choose and nitpick and be all upset for the sake of being upset. But yeah, wow, look at how long these people have been gone for.
Good lord. How many years is 2,681 days?
That hurts, man.
What's the longest offline that someone's been on for you?
600 something days is the longest.
Mine is 2,121 days.
That's 7 years for the top guy.
Oh my god. Just imagine he's just done with the game.
Yeah, he's MR2. I hate that. You hate to see it, man. Like so many people, they launch the game, and they don't even get past like the first 3 nodes on the star chart before just quitting.
It feels kind of bad because the one at like the Ken one at that bottom he's
He probably quit the MR grind.
13. Yeah.
He probably gave up on the MR grind.
Big sad.
Alright, what else we got?
New player experience ass, that's why. Thank you, Ludens, for the input.
Yeah.
It's true though. The new player experience is very bad. It's so overwhelming as soon as you launch the game.
Ludens with the quote unquote hot takes over there.
Yeah, what is that? what was 2,000 days?
7 years. 2,681 is 7 years.
Yeah, wait, that is kind of crazy to think about.
7 years ago? That's 2013. Things were better in 2013.
The game was just coming out. The game had very little substance to it.
It's brutal, man.
Yeah, wait, I wonder what the highest MR, 7 years ago would have been.
A couple of these guys are 0, so I would think that.
But here we go, we got some good memes. Lotus, nobody knows you are here. Keep moving. Grenadier named Nobody. I am 4 parallel universes ahead of you.
Bruh, no Grenadier can ever be 4 parallel universes ahead of anybody.
Okay, this meme was also done thousands of years ago when Homer wrote the Odyssey.
Oh.
And you know the whole story of I think it was Jason and the Cyclops. It might have been Odysseus. I don't remember.
It's Odysseus.
Is it Odysseus?
It's called the Odyssey.
Well, okay, but like
the Odyssey.
you know what I'm you know what I'm talking about though, like the whole him fighting the Cyclops.
Didn't Jason also fight a thing with? Wasn't he like the Golden Fleece guy?
Yeah, he was the Golden Fleece guy. My fleece. All right.
Jason's fleece.
Either way, I was just making a joke that joke had been done thousands of years ago already.
It was bad.
Here we go.
Oh, this one's good.
You wanna read it out, Logan?
We've been boarded. Don't worry. I've got this, guys. Just fucking Rhino.
Rhino, wait!
I just like the face palming Psy in the corner. That just looks so good.
Oh my god, he has arms.
He's got arms.
Here we go for all those Pokemon fans out there.
Yes. Okay, y'all. You know how I said somebody hasn't read Percy Jackson? I read it back in middle school. Okay, give me a break.
Okay, you know what? I have read Percy Jackson, and I just slipped my mind. Okay, I read it, way back in middle school. So.
Pokemon. Okay, I'm gonna be real with you guys. We didn't just go out to walk my dogs. We also went out
to catch Pokemon.
Go.
Pokemon Go. What a bunch of nerds.
I had a good time.
That's a pretty good rendition. That's a pretty good Arceus cosplay though.
It's beautiful.
Arceus.
No, do not say Arceus in my...
This is really useful for new players, I'll agree. It's got all the different mechanics for...
You like see these little graphics, they're like super nice.
I like these kind of graphics. They're nice.
They're nice. It's visually appealing.
Here we go, we got some more Warframe fan art.
That skin just looks like Kaisa.
It does.
That changed my mind.
No, I totally agree.
That's just Kaisa.
It is honestly just Kaisa from League.
Is that Kaisa League of Legends?
Is that Sans Undertale? Actually, you know, since I don't have the skin, I don't know if this is true. Is the skin actually missing for the arm blade? Anyone have the skin though? I don't know, Logan, you didn't buy the Ash skin, right?
No, I have it, but I'm just in the I'm on battles with the rest of us now.
Well, no, I didn't know if you had noticed if it's the default blade or if it's the model in the market.
No idea.
Okay. Well, anyways, we got these sick Ayatan stars that look honestly super cool.
Yeah, that one sounds really good.
I love 3D print. I would love to 3D print these kind of things. I used to 3D print a little bit back in high school, but it was so small.
It'd be really sick if those like actually like glowed.
I bet it wouldn't be that hard to.
Probably not.
You just use clear instead of like a solid color, and then you just put a backlight to it with LEDs.
Jason knows what to do. Jason's gonna be our he's gonna make our merch.
Jason's gonna make Ayatans for us.
Here you go, Logan. This one's for you.
Where are they coming from?
Rhino coming. He's just sprinting at the screen.
Too many Rhino. That's so good.
Bobbin is a nerd.
Okay, no. Somebody needs to do one of these with Warframe. You guys know the vibe check memes that have like the smiley face that has like the
What have you not seen?
Reach out.
I think it was Hoshi.
Yeah.
Hoshi sent us a Volt vibe check. Have you not seen it?
Yeah, right.
I believe I have, but someone should make one with like ballast or something, and like use
Oh
like
my
his really
god, yeah.
disgustingly long snake arm.
That'd be so creepy.
He's yucky. Snake arm.
Here we go. Becky, look at that cute fan art.
It's adorable. Sorry, I'm also just killing things right now. You know, I am a murder hobo. It's what I do.
Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, here's this one. This was pretty cool. Look at the General Grievous cosplay. Hello there, General Kenobi.
We're not doing this. There is a cursed image of one of my friends standing behind me, and we both have a pair of like drumsticks in our hands, and there's just us reenacting it, and it's a cursed video somewhere.
I'm very concerned about what is below this post.
Yeah, just proof Sarah's mommy.
I don't know if I want that.
I hope it's.
I'm
okay,
checking for
alright,
you.
it's fine, it's fine. We're not.
Y'all, you know what my favorite
It's a really good
thing is?
unmasked
My favorite
singer.
thing is when they post, like, when on like the streams, when Rebecca is just like, you know, the art looks really nice and stuff, and then everyone's just looking questionable at, you know, questionable proportions and, you know, various things like that.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Alright, let's do a few more and then we'll swap over to our exclusive interview. Here we go. Use the Twinger Katas. Kick guns are for Scoom. Honestly, I've been using the twin Gurkatas a little bit more. I have a pretty decent roll for them. I have what is it? Crit damage minus zoom, I think, or crit chance, crit damage minus zoom.
That sounds pretty neat.
And it's yeah, it's only 2 though, so it's not, as we learned from our previous interview, it's not a quote unquote god roll. But yeah, they're pretty cool. They have a sick reload too. All right, one more. Here you go, Logan. You want to read this one? Logan.
Like cutting in and out right now.
Almost.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out for a little bit. Becky, you want to read this one?
Give me 2 seconds, please and thanks.
1, 2.
Alright. Who do you think you are?
The man, the myth, the legend.
The man behind the slaughter.
Damn it.
Was that the bite of 87?
Is that the point of 87?
Was that the point of 87?
Alright.
Alright, what was? Dun, dun, dun.
Is it the how to spawn the stalker without a beacon?
Mm-hmm.
Complete a defense mission with level 30 or higher enemies with defense objective taking no damage while alone or in solo mode.
Yeah, people always say like the stalker will always spawn on you if you have like under-leveled gear or something like that. And that's like one of those old wives' tales.
I think we should actually finish.
Oh, and there we go. What a perfect thing to finish this the segment off with.
Thank you for. I'm gonna have nightmares.
That's terrible.
Sailor Moon Vayhek. It's actually fantastic.
I'm never gonna sleep again.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
It's a cruel.
Look at it. Look at it. Look at it.
Get rid of it.
Look at it.
We have to do an interview.
Look at it.
Sailor hack. Oh my god, it's beautiful.
There we go, guys.
Wow.
This is all that. This is all that we're doing for the show now.
That's too.
That's uncomfortable. That should be the new banner for. That should be the banner on Twitter.
No. That's copyrighted art. All right. Anyways, I think it's time to switch on over to our next segment. Anyone wanna? Here, I'll.
So,
message him and see if he's ready.
So, as you know, we kind of started like our show a little bit with Captura and Fashion Frame. So, why not just, bring on somebody to have an interview about Fashion Frame? I don't know about y'all, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and he's just been a good supporter to our show.
Mm-hmm.
Full of helpful tips and helpful. The man, the myth, the legend. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And without further ado, let's bring on our next guest, Ludens.
I like how you drag him in at the exact time, and I just hear the Discord ping.
Hello.
Hi, Ludens. Hello.
Hey.
Come on to the show.
It's good to be here. Hello.
So, I like how you have the color palette just.
Look, it's his favorite color palette. So
it
And then I did manage to get your art to, or your capturers to scroll in the background.
I see.
Oh yeah.
All right, so why don't you start with introducing yourself? But I'm sure everyone already knows who you are.
Right. Hello. My name is Ludens. I do a bit of Warframe stuff on YouTube. And I also do Captura, or I have done Captura.
Sick.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Becky, you want to start us off with the questions?
All right. So the first question we usually ask is like, how long have you been playing Warframe?
I think 7 years. Or at least I've had an account for 7 years. I've obviously like taken breaks on and off, but about 7 years, yeah.
You've had an account for as long as the guy's been offline.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
What a time. It's so much time. God. Alright, 7 years. I'm like not even at one.
Well, it doesn't feel like 7 years. I'll tell you that.
It does.
It doesn't.
Alright, so you, of course, when people start off playing Warframe, they don't start off the game to, fashion frame. So, when did you switch focus from, like, playing the game to, using the Captura and making cool-looking frames and all that kind of stuff?
Right. So there comes a point in any MMO where you don't really have much to do anymore. And if you're a Warframe veteran, this feeling is... You kind of get there fast. And pretty much with every content release, you end up not having much to do at the end of it. So, I think I was bored with the game, and I just switched to making Captura, because I just wanted to do it. I just wanted to try. And I tried, maybe that was around 2 years ago. I started, like, just doing Captura stuff. About 2 years, yeah.
Dang, out of the, I guess, 7 years you've been on and off playing. Do you know about what update you switched? I feel like that would just give me a better sense of time or whatever. Or like what major event happened.
Right before Fortuna.
Okay.
During the, I remember this, during the, I can actually maybe find a very old image of my Captura, but this was before Fortuna launched, and they had this giant like ARG thing going on.
Oh,
Yeah,
that.
Right,
I
yeah,
remember
and
that.
with the
Nonstop
Discord,
about
they had this Discord thing you could join and then like find codes and crap.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I was
during that
into
time.
it.
There was they gave out an exclusive sigil.
I'm so mad. It's on my console account.
Yeah, the exclusive sigil. It's maybe you'll see it scroll through. I think I gave you an image for it.
Yeah, it's on
it's on my Excalibur. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like the first time I did anything real with Captura was that image, I think.
Nice.
Yeah. Not that exact image, but that fashion. Yeah.
Gotcha. It's pretty neat. Alright, let's see what's next. Alright, so a lot of the times when they come down to like talk about how the fashion frame looks and all that stuff, and how we say that it literally just looks like art, like fan art, not even a thing. And how, sometimes it just looks so clean that it looks like it should be like promotional art for the game. So we're wondering when it comes to like some of your work, just fantastic. I think you actually won I think you actually got one of the places in our first Captura contest, if I recall. I'm trying to remember.
I think you got
maybe not the first one.
you
I
won
got third on the Fortuna one.
Yeah, you
Yeah, I
got
think it
third
was
on
the
the
Bolt,
Fortuna
right?
one.
No, that wasn't
Not
mine.
Bolt,
The
sorry,
Excalibur.
sorry, the weight Excalibur.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, I guess, do you have a background in, like, photography or editing, since your shots are just pretty clean?
I don't have like a professional background in any of like in photography or graphic design, but I did take like AP photo in high school, and I did some amateur graphic design work during like middle school through high school, and now I learned how to edit through high school on my own because I was in photography class and I had to kind of figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually I just came to like photography, and yeah, video editing came along with it. That's pretty much it. I used to do art for photography, so that might have influenced me, but yeah, I have very little like actual professional or education in any of these fields.
I mean, all you needed is a 3 or higher on an AP exam for it to count.
True.
Let's see. How easy is it to start using like Captura or like fashion framing? Like, I remember I talked about how like impossible it looks, but how easy is it?
Well,
Just
fashion
to
frame is subjective, right? But
Yeah.
I think Captura does have some sense of like objectiveness to it, because at the end of the day, it is like it's a photo mode, and there's like photography techniques that generally look good. So, Captura is generally easy if you have an understanding of the in-game settings through like not only Captura settings but like the actual game settings, and like composition and lighting. If you have like a general sense of like photography, it's really easy to get used to. Yeah.
That's cool. So it's not this absolutely difficult thing that it seems like.
No,
it could be.
it's really not. The workflow for Captura, at least for me, is I jump in and I basically have a default setting that I slide all the sliders into, and I just keep it there for the most part and tweak it around once I'm, if I need to do something with it. But for the most part, as long as you have an understanding of the in-game settings, how they work with each other, and you're pretty much set.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Looking at tabs. All right. What are some key elements a beginner may miss or not know when it comes to like Captura, and I guess advice to beginners on getting started in, taking cool shots like the ones that we have scrolling through the stream?
So this is what I usually tell new people, is to first look at your settings and understand what they are, your in-game settings, not Captura settings. Once those are pretty much set, and you're comfortable working with those settings, I usually tell someone to like grab a default frame. Default Excalibur, default Mag, default Volt, or default Rhino work very well because their silhouettes are very standard. And they're very basic silhouettes that kind of like match other frames. Just default their colors and don't worry about fashion. If you're just going to do Captura, or if you just want to learn Captura, it's a lot easier to worry about fashion later. And then just kind of go into Captura, again, experiment with the settings. I have a video on Captura settings that I can link, if anyone's interested in that in the chat.
Yeah, you can put it up.
I definitely think we
basically-
have shared that one around quite a bit.
Yeah, basically, I would recommend you work, or anyone work with a default frame with vanilla colors, just to like understand lighting and composition and the Captura settings before even trying to like do anything crazy with particles or animations or whatever. Just default frame in a normal scene. Doesn't have to be fancy. You don't need any crazy scene. Just work with a scene that's really easy to work with. So any of the default scenes, I recommend not using the Umbra scene, just because it's like haze and purple.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sounds like a pretty good way to get started. Let's see. So when it comes to like, using Capture and stuff, it's not always about the scene, or even in just like if we do arsenal shots, it's not just always about the scene. Sometimes it's about like, it's the warframe that's like the thing about it. And so a lot of the times people use Tenogen. I've noticed a lot of Tenogen comes up in our own contests. So how do you feel about a lot of the really quality skins being locked behind the Tenogen paywall?
Oh, I actually really dislike that. And it's not anything against Tenogen creators, because the work is great, and I'm happy that we do have good skins in the game. But I do feel like it kind of sucks that so much like so much quality stuff is hidden behind actual paywalls, and even some console players don't have access to it. I know Switch players don't have access to a lot of Tenogen, and that really sucks. It's nice that DE has started to push out a lot more deluxe skins at a rapid pace, and they're all pretty high quality, or they have been for the most part. But at the same time, we don't really get many skins that use the default model for Warframe that are from DE, except like immortal skins and occasionally the promotional skins like the Steam Pinnacle pack or Discord Amethyst pack. At the same time, I don't really want DE to prioritize pushing out deluxe skins. I'd rather them have push out content. But yeah, you know, it's nice either way.
Which do you think looks better in your opinion? Tenogen skins or deluxe skins? Because I know deluxe skins, they change the model. They can change the model up and make it, you know, look a bit different and stuff. But
Yeah, they don't have limitations on what they're allowed to do.
I'm telling you 100%, I prefer Tenogen skins for Saren over her deluxe.
Yeah.
100%.
I think for the most part, I prefer Tenogen because you get more options, and they usually follow the default silhouette. Well, they all have to follow the default silhouette, except the helmet. So you can kind of get away with using armor that you really can't with a lot of the deluxe skins. Like Deluxe Nova, for example, doesn't take armor very well because just you have a lot of material differences with the materials that are used on the textures and materials that are used on Nova Deluxe and the armor in game.
Wait, which Nova isn't there too?
Oh, right, the new one.
Atomica.
Sorry, yeah,
Okay.
Atomica. Generally, I prefer Tenogen, I'd say.
Alright.
There's some good deluxe skins though, but yeah, Tenogen is great.
What's your favorite Tenogen and then favorite deluxe skin since we're on that topic?
That's tough. Well, deluxe skin I can probably. My favorite deluxe is probably Harrow.
Yeah, that's a
Or the new
really
Ash.
good one.
I think the Harrow collection is a really good collection.
I agree.
Has really good armor that you can use on a lot of frames. The spear gun skin is great. The skin is really good, has good details, really good textures, it takes colors all right. Yeah, it's a good, like, overall solid skin. I'd say Excalibur Zato, like, following it, and maybe the new Ash. I don't know, I have to mess around with it more.
Yeah, I saw some of the stuff you put up.
I think my favorite Tenogen would probably be Magigrax.
Magrax, really?
Yeah, just because you can put induction on it, the induction Tenogen helmet, and that's it. That's I like the look, and that's yeah, that's it.
Nice. When you say take color, what do you mean by that? Like, that you can color the Warframe, but what do you mean by taking?
So what I mean by like take color is well, we all know that in Warframe you have different channels for customization, right?
Yeah.
Like tertiary, accents, primary, secondary, right? And these color channels affect a certain region on the frame. So certain skins will, like, these channels will display colors that you put on them differently than other skins. A good example of this is the new Ash Deluxe, Ash Shroud. It mutes colors a lot more than, I don't know, default Ash. So when I say it takes colors well, what I mean is it accurately displays the color that you choose. So some frames will brighten colors or make them overly saturated. Nova Atomica is one of these skins. Some skins will dull colors down. Ash Shroud is one of these skins. And so generally when a skin takes colors well, I refer to it matching colors accurately with what you pick, which helps with attachments because you want neutral attachments to fit. If I choose like a shade of beige, I expect it to look a certain way on a frame. And if I go to another frame, or if I choose attachments and that beige is suddenly somehow 10 times brighter, there's an issue there.
Yeah.
Metallics and golds are like that, right?
Metallic channels, for the most part, yeah. Those are most noticeable on frames, and they can be pretty obnoxious. A lot of the prime models have metallics that take colors pretty vibrantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I notice you can use like a like almost like a very very almost white tannish color, and it'll make it look like a gold still, which is it's interesting to me that something that is very off the color that you're looking for is suddenly considered gold.
Yeah. Sometimes it's good that you have like color channels that take colors differently. Sometimes you might want that, or you personally prefer it. I prefer color channels that mute things or desaturate things a lot more than saturating colors or making things super bright.
Yeah.
But generally, it's good that it's in a neutral area where it's as accurate as it can be, because you don't want super bright or super dull things.
Yeah. Speaking of like coloration, what palettes will you not touch? Like,
Will I not touch?
Yeah, is there any? We know your favorite palette as shown on the screen, but is there any palette with the colors that you just never use, even if you own it and like thought you'd use it more? Is there a palette that you just don't touch the colors?
That I won't touch. Yeah, probably Infested. And that's about it. I will use every other palette. Am I lagging? I'm just wondering.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, probably just Infested, and that's about it. I'll use every other palette. I don't... Maybe Halloween. Well, yeah, probably just mostly Infested.
I mean, there's better greens and what colors are on those, like green and purple?
Right. There's greens, pinks, purples, and blues on it.
I know it has like a very vibrant neon. You wouldn't use that for like a vaporwave kind of look at all?
No. I prefer to mute everything on my frames. I tend to use very muted, desaturated colors. I don't even really like energy colors or emissives, so I usually go with black emissives or very dull colors. So I don't run with like crazy neon colors unless I'm looking for a look.
See.
Oh yeah, I guess like on your mag helmets you don't usually have much of a color there.
Yeah.
And I know that's reflected by emissive and energy color.
Emissives and energies.
Yeah, emissives.
More you know.
Hi Flowers, hey Nightingale, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Let's see. So you said that you just leave the sliders, like once you set it up to where you like it, you just leave them and you don't really touch them. So I guess, where do you usually leave them? An example, like I guess what kind of lighting or setting or effects do you usually go for? Because I know in your video you talk about how there's like one thing you just shouldn't really mess with.
That's exposure, right?
Do I say that? I'm not sure I said that.
Gee.
No, like obviously mess with settings if you need to. Like, if I'm shooting Captura, I might change my FOV. Generally, I don't. Generally, there's things I don't personally change just because I don't need to, or do it in post. But like the sliders that if you're asking the sliders that I don't change, if I'm taking a close-up shot of a warframe, or if my subject is a warframe, I usually leave my FOV at the lowest setting possible. That is, and I lower my grain to the lowest possible, and I set my saturation to the highest. That's it. Those are the only settings I don't really like. Once I'm set, I leave them. Everything else I change, but that's mostly lighting. So.
Okay. I have a question. Okay, so I'm gonna send you a picture of something that I've seen pop up in like the hotfix notes a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
It's from someone who's complaining about like color channels on the new Ash Shroud skin. I just want to know what your take on it is.
Yeah, sure. Just Let me take a look at
never
this.
mind. Ludens solved the question. Just gonna ask you.
Please fix the shroud skin while it's still new without being delayed for next few. The accents are everywhere. It should not cover 90% of the.
Is that a Reddit rant, Jason?
No, it's not a Reddit rant. It's just something I've seen in the in like.
Right. So like, I know a lot of people don't like color channels that use different channels that are named like accent when they cover up the majority of the frame and aren't even metallic, and I get that, but I think in the case of the Ash Shroud skin, it really doesn't matter. Like, I think the accents might be on another channel, but who cares?
Just
It's
figure
not-
it out.
I don't really find it to be that annoying on the skin, so it doesn't really affect me. Yeah, that's it. Like I don't really have any. I'm pretty indifferent on it. I just don't care.
No, I was just curious because this is like the 6th update, and they seem very annoyed about it, and like.
Right.
Yeah, just one of those things that you see all the time in the update notes. People begging for fixes for something, or just people complaining in general. Like I know I see someone give us the old enemies back. These ones suck, kind of thing.
Wow. Let's see.
And there's always something to complain about.
There's
Always
always
something.
something to complain about.
All right, Ludens. So the question from the chat, I guess, both male and female for animation poses.
Okay, so animation poses I can recommend. For females, or just like a female feminine pose, or stance, Mirage Noble
Yes.
is probably my Mesa Noble is also good. It's Korra Agile, Korra Noble.
Yeah, I was gonna say Korra is probably a good one.
Nyx Noble is one I like.
Or Noble recently.
I do like Gara.
Gara Noble, Gara Agile.
Yeah, the Gara is just beautiful too.
If any more comes up, I can.
What do you think about Titania's?
I don't like Titania's. I'm gonna be honest.
I think it's so overused.
I don't like it. That's it. I just meh.
What about Wisp?
Right.
Like, you see a lot of people using Wisp.
I don't like Wisp Noble. She kind of leans back a lot. It looks a bit odd.
I use
Zephyr Noble is amazing. That's a great neutral stance that you can use on any frame. For male frames, I'd say like Hydra Noble, Grendel Noble, Nidus, Necros,
Harrow.
Oh, Harrow's a bit. Yeah.
Revenant
has great stances for Agile and Noble for really dynamic poses in both like idle poses and with weapons. Highly recommend Revenant if you're gonna do some capture stuff. Most poses are good. Just choose what you like, what you see, you know.
Speaking of Hydroid, you had recently. I still think we could consider it like recently. You helped to make the fan Hydroid Prime trailer, since it never really got one.
Super good, very nice.
Super good. How many? I guess approximately how long did it take you to make that? Because I assume you did like all the shots for it.
No, I did. So for chat and a bit of context, Relentless Zen, a YouTuber, posted a video, a Hydroid Prime fan trailer. It was a collaboration between me and him. We've been working on it for a while now, on and off. I provided the close-up shots and some B-roll for like dead bodies and the scenery.
We love
That took me about, like recording-wise, it took me about maybe, like if I'm counting in hours, 6 hours to do.
Oh dang.
We ended up scrapping a lot of footage, that's why. But yeah, a video like that would take about 6 hours.
Well, it looks great.
Thank you.
And I'm so sad you couldn't get like the actual Ballast voice to do it because DE doesn't allow that.
Yeah, it's quite upsetting.
Yeah, it would have been just the perfect touch to end on.
It's well done. So, Jason, you should pull up that image. So.
Yes, I'll put it on the.
Yeah.
You're talking about taking colors and color palettes you don't touch. And in case you haven't become aware of her fashion frame, we're going to show you a lovely picture of D.E. Megan's fashion. In case you aren't aware of what that looks like, I think it'll be a real treat.
Oh, composition's not bad.
Oh my
I mean, it's not the worst photo I've seen, if that says anything.
Really?
Yeah.
We all of her warframes are that color. Her
I
operators.
mean,
that color.
listen, you color what you want, man. At the end of the day, you're playing your warframe, and you know, if you like the colors on it. Sure, do you, man?
Okay, wait. Now, hold on. Let's hear your honest opinion on it, because I know you got your.
I mean, that's my honest. I mean, okay, if you want like, I wouldn't. It's to me, it just looks like you press randomized until you got like a meme palette. But hey, whatever, dude.
We just thought it'd be funny.
How do we feel about the Cora Deluxe Noble with the whip? If I ever have to see Grendel or something with that animation set ever again.
Yeah, that shit's dope. Looks good.
It does look good, but I don't know why I'm just bothered by Grendel having the Cora Noble with the whip.
I really can't wait for Cora Deluxe.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone.
Good skin, or it will be.
Yeah, what do you think of? Let's see, both Cora and Garuda Deluxe coming out soon. What do you think of those skins?
So, I think, give me a second. Excuse me. Cora Deluxe is designed by Liger, who did the Excalibur Zato, Neja, I forgot the name of the skin, Neja Deluxe, and Nidus Frike, or Nidus Deluxe.
Oh.
The majority of his skins have very big color channels that kind of can get annoying when it comes to like customizing them. But I'm not sure. I haven't really taken a really good look at Cora Deluxe. She looks kind of messy in a good way.
I can send you one of the better pictures.
She looks like a pineapple.
I think as long as the textures are fine, I'll be okay with the skin. Comes with a new like stance. That's great, I guess. I'm very indifferent until I see it in person, or until I see it in game. Same with the Garuda one. I know a lot of people don't like the Garuda Deluxe being really skinny and stick-like, but I know a lot of people said the same thing about the Ash skin. And it seems like the Ash skin is being praised.
I didn't see it being
a lot
that
of
skinny.
skins in game, so I don't know. Yeah, I'll just wait.
Yeah. She is kind of a pineapple, yes. I'm gonna make her look like the
NASA Prime.
The NASA the I-10, because that's all we ever get in sorties. But we just have that terrible of luck. Let's see. What are your favorite frames to fashion?
I like very standard and default, or very neutral looking silhouettes. So frames like Excalibur, Mag, Volt, those are my favorites. I do mess around with some other. Yeah, probably just like Excalibur, just because there's so many skins you can put on him, and a lot of attachments are they fit well, like proportionally on him. Same with Cyandanas. So Excalibur, Volt, Mag, and recently Garuda. That's about it.
The base Garuda, or do you like the successor skins to fashion with?
Oh, well, like Garuda as like a model, or just as a frame. I like Garuda. So all the skins for two skins she has. Yeah.
Garuda's a thing. Let's see. I assume images that are on the stream are like a select few of your favorite shots, but what is by far your quote-unquote best, or like your favorite shot or
what's the one you're
whatsoever?
most proud of?
Yeah.
None of. I don't want to say none of them. Okay. So all the Captura that I sent is just stuff that I had lying around that I had on my computer because I just deleted a bunch of stuff. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't really have a favorite. I look back and I say I can improve on this more. I'm never really happy with any of the work I create after a while, so I don't really have anything that I like, or that I really like.
That sounds familiar.
I'm not. I just don't feel very proud of it because I know Captura is not hard. That's why I don't find it difficult to produce quote unquote I'm doing air quotes right now with my hands. Good Captura because I don't find it to be a talent that I personally would be proud of. So I don't take pride in any of my Captura much.
Well,
nowadays I just kind of I'm over it.
You should know that a lot of people think otherwise, and that they think that you are probably one of the most talented people when it comes to Captura.
So take pride in your work, even if you think it's easy. You should.
It's flattering, but like,
don't worry,
I just can't put my
I mean, fully understand that.
The shot that
I'm very similar.
The shot that I guess the shot that I like the most would probably be the Garuda shot that I sent you guys.
Yeah, it's scrolled over.
I've used that shot a lot. It's just a good action shot that I've recreated a couple times. It's well framed, I think.
Yeah.
The successor one.
Changed. Yeah.
It was.
About it later, but
I scrolled over before.
Don't worry. You just gotta even if you think it's easy, you just got. I made this. I helped to make this a list of questions to ask you. Easy as heck, but hey, I think I did a pretty darn good job making some questions.
You did great, Becky. Don't worry.
Absolutely.
Alright, there's a question from the chat. Which other Captura artists do you think do outstanding work?
Outstanding work? Or just good, like... See, now if I, not include anyone, I'm gonna feel bad, right?
Okay, what about just, good work? Work that you enjoy, work that you think that you like.
Just, good Captura artists, right? Fox does good stuff for the most part. I think, yeah, Fox does good stuff in Plains of Eidolon. He does very good wide shots, and he has some creative work there. Just off the top of my head, I have a friend. She's no longer in the community. Probably doesn't want to be named, so I won't say her name.
Yeah,
but
that's fine.
I'll link her work later. She does really good stuff with Reshade, to the point where it looks really well done, and there's an actual style to it. Purple Fleur does really good work with Captura. Archer does good work with Captura. Yeah, that's really it. Honestly, I've been out of the scene for a while, and I don't remember. That's all I've got.
Lots of names that we recognize here. Oh man, more questions.
I'll do chat questions if you want. I'm cool with that.
Or Becky, do you have any more regular questions?
As for regular questions, no. I just have the obligatory.
The closing question.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll do chat questions for now.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's anyone else,
Since we just did a flowers question, we'll do a Kuva question. Will you ever explain Reshade Ludens? I started using it and it's still a little confusing here and there after messing with it.
I won't explain Reshade because I'm not comfortable explaining it. I don't use much of it myself, and I don't use it in a way where I think I would be an authority to explain it. That's why I don't explain it.
That's fair.
That's why I haven't made a video on it. I can link you a guide to that someone's written about Reshade and Warframe. They just go over basic settings. They don't tell you how to do certain things, but if you want to understand what certain settings do or what effects do, I can send you that. I just have to go dig and find it. Generally, I just use cinematic DOF, depth of field, and Reshade, and just have some settings to sharpen my image, and that's it. I really don't do much with reshade. So.
Nice. Another question from chat. How do you make vertical shots? Any tips? So I guess tips on making a vertical shot.
Vertical shots, you use the Q and E tilt. If you're on keyboard, Q tilts to the left, E tilts to the right. You just tilt your screen. That's literally it. Yeah.
Why? Or like I guess.
Why? Well,
because I know vertical shots are like the quote unquote meta, like we talked about the other day, where it's very easy to see on mobile. So
right. So vertical shots are like if you want to take a vertical shot, it's mostly to frame like just your frame or just a warframe or an operator in the picture, like on screen right now. If you could do it, you do it for like Instagram, or if you want to have like a really high res shot that you would crop down for Reddit, vertical shots tend to do well. If you just want to like focus purely on a fashion frame, not the background, vertical shots put that focus on the frame because it's literally just restricting how much you can see.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you would do vertical shots.
Okay.
Nice. I just thought of a few questions while I'm sitting here and you're discussing. Are there any weapons that you like to, make look all fancy, or do you particularly just make a match your frame or something like that?
I don't.
Weapons.
Yeah, I mean, I like using very neutral-looking weapons that don't really interfere much with fashion. Sometimes I'll match weapons that kind of like match the aesthetic. I like using the Lex a lot because it just looks like a pistol. I usually color my weapons separately from my frames. I don't ever copy attachment colors or copy frame colors. I try to make my weapons look like weapons or color them to be distinguishable. Yeah, that's about it. I like the Tatsu. It's a sword. It's cool.
Nice. Swords are pretty cool.
Do you like any weapon skins?
Weapon skins, yeah.
Bro, that's spear gun.
Yeah, the spear gun skin from the Haru collection.
Very nice.
One of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
I quite like the swords, like the heavy blade skins, Tenojin stuff, like the Mithra heavy blade. I don't ever do Captura with it because like melee animations are really wonky, but I do like it when I just play the game. Big ass swords are cool. So
big ass swords are cool.
That's very true.
I gotta save some money so I can get one of those, but instead I dumped money on one of the Saren skin I liked.
All right, let's see. If you could use only one palette for the rest of your fashion frame, what would you use?
Gamma.
So,
Gamma. Yes, Gamma. The Gamma, hands down, is one of the best, if not the best, universal palette, in my opinion. I think classic Gamma and saturated are really good. You honestly don't need much after that. It's good to have other shades, but I personally could just live with Gamma. It's
such a
really
quick
good.
answer.
Yeah.
You were ready.
I agree. It is a good universal palette, and I was happy to have it on my account.
Yeah.
When I logged back on.
Gamma, and if it's not Gamma, then it's classic. Yeah.
The only hard part about Gamma is that it was limited to its original release, and then it did come back. I think it was last Nightwave intermission or two Nightwave intermissions
2 Nightwaves ago. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Well, I'm never getting it then.
One of the intermissions. Yeah. Logan, you want to ask the next question?
Yeah, sorry, I had a question as well.
Oh yeah, go for that.
When you're going into a capture, when you're going into like take a picture, do you per se go for overall theme? Like if you say want to go for like a black and white or something, like do you base more around the fashion of the warframe or the overall theme that you're doing? If that makes sense.
So I try to like play off one another. If I have for example, a space sci-fi looking mag, I'll try to put her in an area where the background will complement that. So I might put her in like a corpus base or find an area in Orbalis. If I do like thematic Captura, I try to match the background to be appropriate. Sometimes if I just want to do like pure, like I'll sometimes just be inspired by a background to make an entire fashion frame from. So a good example would be my Garuda. I was inspired by the Haru's temple scene to make that look, and I came up with that look from the scene. So sometimes I'll do that.
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. Cause that's what I've been kind of wondering. It's like I've been saying like, I see like a cool scene, and it's like, okay, now I want to make a whole like fashion just to fit around this. Find something that can fit. As rather sometimes I'll have like, I've been trying to do it recently, but I'm shit at it. I just have like my fashions that I like my Volt and my Nidus, and now it's like, okay, now I just have to find like a scene that matches something that goes already with them. As still, so, I don't know, I'm still trying to figure out Capture. I don't know how you guys are so good at it.
Well, there's some scenes that are pretty like universal and neutral. I'd say like Deck 12 with just rocky mountains, and then you have Orbalis, white background or rock background, Cetus or Cetus or Plains of Eidolon. You do have like neutral scenes you could work with if you don't really, have a scene that works too well.
Before I ask Flowers this question, what is your favorite scene then? Since we're talking about
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was about to say too. I'm not sure if you asked that already.
Favorite scene? Jeez, that's really difficult. No, it's not.
I was gonna say
Orbalis, Orbalis or Gas City. Those are anything from the Gas City or Orbalis.
Gas City scenes are so nice.
The reason why I like Orbalis, and I might even say Orbalis above Gas City, although right now I don't know just because of convenience sake, is because you used to be able to go into the Corpus bases in Orbalis.
Oh, what?
And I have some shots in there that show like I'm in an Orbalis cave that's technically in a part of a base. The one with Frost and Nova is inside of a base, and you can get some really cool detailed shots in that area. And it has the same textures as Gas City, and you have a lot more space to work with. Slightly better lighting because you don't have fog all over the place. Really nice, and you have a lot of variety in that scene.
Why would they take that out then?
They took it out because I don't know. But you used to be able to use like air charges to open up caves in Plains of Eidolon and bases in Orbalis. You can still do it with Hydroid, but you have to like glitch through every door, and there's like 1,000 doors, so it's not even worth doing anymore.
Yeah.
So I use Gas City now, but yeah.
Gas City's nice.
Gas City or Orbalis.
Do you like? Oh, have you tried out the ones I got you yesterday?
Yeah, Sentient Scenes. I'm working on them. They're cool. Weird lighting, but yeah.
I know you
Good textures.
used to do like showcase videos for the different scenes. Did you are you gonna do one with the sentient scenes or even the deadlock scenes?
So right now I'm working on for my YouTube stuff, which I haven't done in took a giant break because of school, and I'm burnout. I'm currently working on Sentience 2, and maybe a scene showcase for that, as well as another video that I have on hold that I should just finish up. So, yeah, some stuff going on with that.
Alright. Cool. Some more questions from Flowers. What colors do you think are underrated and should be used more in fashion?
Black emissive energy. I don't know if that technically counts as an answer, but I think blacking out emissives and not using emissive channels entirely, or very dull emissives, is something that I don't see often, and I really like. I think sometimes energy channels and energy like dots look really obnoxious on frames, and I feel like a lot of times are forced to fit with like a tertiary color and end up looking really tacky. So yeah, black emissives in my opinion are really dope looking, and if anyone pulls it off, I think it's pretty cool because I don't see it often.
A color I also don't see often. I just don't see green. Nobody likes green. Green's bad. Green's a pinky color.
I mean, I see a lot of colors. I think like underrated combinations would be like a better thing it'd be a more interesting thing to talk about, but because I do see a lot of blue frames that just look
Yeah.
like trash, you know. But
I use a lot of blue because blue's my favorite color. Oh well. Let's see. Another question. I struggle with finding scenes for elegant-looking frames, and I don't know which scene you'd use. What scene would you say goes well with like more elegant frames?
elegant frames. I don't know if I'm the right person to ask. Orb Valis skyboxes, if you can try to get a clear shot of just like a neutral background. If you just don't want to put too much attention to your frames, or to the background, or background, maybe just consider doing a vertical shot with like a very plain skybox. As Vitalon works well with this if you can get good lighting. Orb Valis, Deck 12. If you want something colder, there's some rocks at the very top of the left on the scene you can kind of climb up to. Hell, you could even use the orbiter scene if you really need.
That was a really nice.
That's been like my newest favorite.
Yeah, I used it quite a bit. So when you say you like edit things in post, what exactly do you do and what programs do you use?
I use Adobe Lightroom, which is basically just a photo editor that you use and changes colors and stuff.
Nice.
You could use Photoshop. I just don't use Photoshop much because it takes way too long to load. It's not even worth it. So I do some color correcting in Lightroom, and that's about it.
Alright. Who is your least favorite frame to fashion?
Grendel.
Big boy.
Grendel's just icky looking.
Grendel because his entire body is like one giant ass color channel. Any frame that has like a very large color channel, I hate coloring. So
Can I do
yeah, Grendel.
Can I do a capture request with Grendel? Can you make me?
You can. I'm just not gonna do it.
Can you make me? Can you make me a Shrek capture?
I mean, I'm just not gonna do it.
I know. Did we do Flowers' question about underrated colors?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, underrated colors. We did that.
Just
All
making
right.
sure.
I guess this is the last call for questions from the chat.
Yeah, I'll answer as much as I can.
And
Yeah,
then we'll ask our obligatory end question.
Oh, that scares me.
Don't be scared. do not worry. It will be fine. It's okay. You don't have to have thought of questions beforehand. That's why we do that.
Kuba, he may seem scary, but Ludens is actually quite nice, and I'm sure if you ask him politely, he'll answer your questions in the future.
No, I'll answer them. I have nothing else to do. Yeah, just DM on Instagram, or not Instagram, Discord, and I'll just answer them. I don't care.
Go follow Ludens on Twitter.
Sub to his YouTube channel.
Yeah, my YouTube is probably a better place if you wanna more content.
Let's see. Last question. What tips or words of advice would you give to aspiring Captura artists?
This shit ain't deep, yo. Who cares? Like, that's not, like, okay, what I mean by that, not to discourage you, I mean, like, yo, don't take this too seriously. It's a photo mode. Okay, to be fair, Capture is a dog shit photo mode compared to other games, okay? It's just not good. It's not that deep. It's photos at the end of the day. Do it if you enjoy it. Do it if you want to improve, I guess, or improve if you want to improve. That's it. Just do it because you like it. Don't do it for any other reason.
Your enjoyment is what matters.
Yeah, and
don't cry over spilled milk.
Don't get too invested into like the whole Captura fashion frame niche community. Trust me, it's not worth doing. But yeah, just have fun. Yeah, and if you wanna improve, you know, just hate your work. They'll force you to improve.
Story time with Ludens about Captura.
No, we're not doing that. Maybe some other day. Not today.
I'm kidding. Alright, so the obligatory question we ask all of the people we interview. This one's not about Captura, so the question is it's an obligatory like state of the game kind of question. We know a lot of your opinions about the state of the game. So I guess what is your opinion on the state of the game? Or more so, we tend to just ask, would you recommend this game to a friend?
No. Fuck no. Sorry. No. Warframe
Not
in
even
its
from
current
a
state,
begin-
absolutely no.
Not even from a beginner standpoint, where they have
No,
quite a
like-
lot of content to work through before they get to the veteran burnout.
Like, if you're looking for... I don't think Warframe is a game that respects player time once you hit like a certain point in it, and I feel like it's not worth it being a time sink. It's a fun power fantasy for a couple hours or a couple 100 hours, and once like you're over that, you're over that. I don't. I think the new player experience is too overwhelming, and that's it, really.
Do you think, as they're trying to make changes about things, do you think that in the future you would recommend this game to a friend?
I want to, like I do, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, if the game is in a good state, of course I'll recommend it to my friends. I just don't think it is, and because of that, I wouldn't.
Understandable. Well, I'm glad you at least have an outlook in hopes that eventually it'll be something you can recommend to somebody, and that you want to recommend it to somebody. It's just not in the place right now.
Yeah.
But hopefully with some of these changes, and hopefully they'll start working on... Yeah, my new player experience was getting carried by Jason and Logan.
Exactly.
But
Okay, we tried our best to let you do things.
I think.
Oh, you skip every
I think
cutscene.
the deadlock protocol is definitely a good step in the direction. I think updates similar to Jovian Concord
Yeah, I
are
was
really
gonna say
good for the
Jovian
game.
Concord.
And sort of like flesh out the game. So yeah, they're good.
Alright. Well, unless we have any more questions, thank you for coming on, Ludens.
Yeah,
It's nice to have you.
Thanks for coming around.
it was fun.
It's always a lot of fun to chat.
Mhm.
You guys should
subscribe
go
to
sub to
Ludens.
Ludens on YouTube. You should follow his Twitter even if he doesn't post. And
Okay, but he posted
you should...
his ass shots like just yesterday.
Right?
I guess if you have any shoutouts you want to do for yourself.
Yeah, you got any shameless
Yeah,
plugs you want to do?
shamelessly plug my YouTube. If you guys want videos on Captura or just Porphy related stuff, because I'm basically just knockoff Porphy, who actually posts or had posted. I don't post anymore. You know what? Just yeah, sub to me if you want.
Sub to me if you
There's
want.
my channel. I will post in maybe a week or two, depending on how I feel. Yeah, that's it. If you want advice, DM me on Discord or something. I'm in the channel. You can.
He's not a scary guy.
You can
He's
do
pretty.
stuff,
He's pretty fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's great.
Alright.
All right.
Well, hope to see further work from you, Ludens.
Okay.
Thanks for coming around.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah,
I
of
appreciate
course.
it.
See you around.
Have a
Alright.
good one.
You too.
Take it
Take
easy.
care.
That was neat.
Oh yeah.
What a great time. Alright, so...
Well, you get set up for the next topic. Dinner's been ready since we started this.
I am set up for the next topic, and if
I'm
I don't get to eat,
starving.
you don't get to eat. Sit down.
Okay, well, what if I need to use the bathroom, huh?
Oh, fine. Okay.
Logan literally had to sleep in for 15 minutes into the stream, and I can't even use the bathroom.
Alright, go.
Alright. Just chat with the chat, you know. Be an influencer or something like that.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. This interact with the chat isn't a bad idea. How's everyone doing tonight? Living your best lives, I assume.
I would hope so. I don't want to see any dead people in my chat.
Yeah, we're the only ones allowed to have bad times. Ooh, drawing. Fun. Wonder if, Koof, are you like me, where you hate everything you draw?
Flowers, you should totally send the, yeah, let's see the Nidus Captura.
That's a drawing. So I know this is a Warframe podcast, but I'm currently playing Sekiro. I'm on the Divine Dragon, one of the last bosses, and it's so badass. Holy shit. Dragon. I'm sending you right to hell.
Are you playing Sekiro during our Warframe show?
Yes, I am Shadows dying twice as we speak.
I hope you lose your fight.
Oh, don't say that. I just died a second ago because I was trying to pay attention. Okay, before anyone says anything, Jason's been playing Terraria for the past like 5
Okay,
days.
you know what? Like, at least I'm not playing it right now during the show, but then again, I don't have a choice.
Back, gamers.
Everyone would know if you were playing it.
Exactly.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome home, Becky.
Hey. Alright.
Not for Din Din tonight.
Logan's just playing.
I didn't grab dinner because I would wait because it'd take me more than a few minutes to just...
Yeah, we're having pizza and I can't even get that right now.
I'm probably, after we get done doing the thing, Jason, that we're doing after the stream, I'm probably going out with Sam again. Because
Alright.
they're doing the lights at our local like conservatory, and they're lighting up the entire building, the colors of our school.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, so that'll be sick.
That sounds like a lot of fun, so I hope you have fun.
I will, and then we'll probably just get McDonald's after. Anyway, next segment.
Like some McDonald's.
Next segment, great.
Conclave!
Well,
You either hate it
if
or
you guys see
hate
the
it.
episodes, it's
Yeah,
time for my beautiful images of Conclave.
I feel bad.
There were
Alright.
some good ones.
Yeah, so
That, I mean.
hold on. Wait, I want to see it. My
Our
Find
second-
honor, find strength, find lost connect.
Conent, no!
Idiot! Someone's gonna pay the idiot tax.
I hate my life, man. This is what,
You do
this is what
every
happens when you're
time.
the only one that does the graphics for the show.
What does that say? Discussing Conclave with someone
Who was crazy enough to grind
someone
out
crazy enough
max
to
rank.
grind out max rank.
Lors, that's your nice. That's so badass.
Alright. So let's lost content.
Alright, let's go. Let's lay the questions on me.
Alright, so first Jason, tell us about the 4 different modes of Conclave and what each of them are for.
Okay, before I start, you should know that I didn't do all this on my own. I actually had a friend who helped me run through them, or actually who I helped run through them with because I was doing it because she had asked. So yeah, first question, why? Why Conclave, and why do you do
That's
it?
at the end. That's at the end. Do not worry. Yes,
Yeah,
Jason played
honestly,
Conclave consistent. Every single
Jason's played
day
Conclave
for,
almost
like,
every
3
single
weeks.
day for 3 weeks to get max rank with Conclave. Anyways, so there's 4 different types of games or game modes in the Conclave. So going from left to right, you have 1v all annihilation. Then next you have the 4v4 team annihilation, and then you have Cephalon capture, and then the most underrated by far is Lunaro. But yeah, so those are the 4 different types of game modes. With 1v all annihilation, it's like your standard PvP match. You just go in and try to kill everyone. Team is, pretty self-explanatory. You're on a team and you're doing the same thing. Cephalon capture is essentially capture the flag, and Lunaro is its own blend. It's like if Rocket League was in Warframe, only a little more intuitive.
It's soccer. It is soccer.
It's more like lacrosse, if anything.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Hold on.
Cycle in some questions too.
Huh?
I can ask some questions for our JC boy.
Yeah, anyone
Alright,
can
we
ask
can-
questions.
Jason, aside from you and Shy, how many people on average play each game mode, or how many people do you
Okay,
average
so no one plays Cephalon Capture.
Which
There
is
is a
sad.
dedicated group of players who will play Lunaro at certain times. And I've seen quite a few people doing the 1v all annihilation, but very rarely have I seen anyone in
Team Annihilation.
Team Annihilation. That's usually where me and Shy go to farm standing by killing each other every time
So
and just
yeah,
swapping each other.
how does that standing farm work, considering no one else plays? Usually you'd have to, like, you know, so a lot of the missions are like kill another person or like,
Yeah,
you
so
know, have
there's
3
like
kills in a row or some sort of stuff like that. How do you do that with only, 2 people ever playing the game modes?
it's kind of like Nightwave, where you get your list of missions to do, and there's something stupid. They're like kill 3 enemies while airborne, or use a Warframe ability to get a kill. But me and Shy, it took some experimenting, but we finally figured out how to trick the system into giving us the standing. And so you have to, it can't be with someone you're queued with, it can't be someone you're in or if you have the settings switch to clan only or like friends only, you won't get standing for that. So thankfully, since no one plays Conclave, there's no one to stick you in a game with other than the person who's queuing up at the same time. So you just start the queue at relatively the same time, or you wait for someone to get into a game and then you jump in. But that'll count towards your when you finish the mission. You'll actually get the points to count towards your daily tasks.
Nice.
Interesting.
By far, and just like any other faction, Conclave is affected by affinity boosters. So the fastest way to get standing is to, 1, do your dailies and do your weeklies. Dailies will give, I don't know, like 15,000, and then weeklies give like 50,000. So, but you should know that just like any other syndicate, it won't bleed over into the next level. So if you're say you need because this happened to me, say you need 50,000 standing to get to the next rank, and you're at 48, but you're all out of stuff. You're all out of like tasks to do, and you see that your daily's almost done. You just got to win one more match, right? So you finish the match, you get your weeklies finished, and you just you lost 48,000 standing that could have gone towards your next level because it doesn't bleed over. Essentially, that 50,000 turned into 2,000, and that's happened to me, and it was so painful. Also, hi Fox, you just missed the interview with Ludens. It'll be up on the YouTube, same with the VOD. And right now we're just talking about Conclave and why I did it.
Yeah. Welcome to a TED Talk. So, what has DE changed about like warframes and weapons so that they fit in the Conclave? An example, certain mods that can only be used in Conclave, warframes and weapons that are just banned from Conclave altogether.
If you scroll through the mods, you'll notice that there are only mobility mods, some starting energy mods, and some like health and shield and armor mods and damage reduction mods. There's no damage, there's no power strength, there's no weapon damage, I think there might be fire rate. I think there's fire rate. But there's no, like, you can't put Serration on your build, you can't use any of the regular PvE mods onto your Warframe or onto your weapons. And yeah, that's pretty much how they quote-unquote balance the game.
And like changing Warframe abilities, banning some of them.
Yeah, they really tweak some Warframe abilities, like what's a good one to bring up?
Trinity just can't stun lock you with energy.
Well, yeah, they also curb you by you don't. There's like you don't start with energy. You start with 0 energy, and they only spawn like little energy pickups like every 5 minutes, and it's like first come first serve kind of thing, and they do like, have a very slow energy trickle. It's like if you had on what is it? Energy siphon. It's like if you had that on, it's a very, very minor trickle of energy coming in until like, I don't know, 2.5 minutes left. And then at that point there's an energy surge which increases that trickle of energy to more of like a steady stream. It barely feels like an energy surge. But yeah, a lot of the warframe abilities are changed. A lot of the augments, there's Conclave exclusive augments. A good example of that was the rumbled augment that used to only be in Conclave, and it was incredibly powerful. Yeah. Alright. Let's see, Logan, you got the next question?
Yep. So, out of the 4, which would you say is your favorite game mode then? And why would you say such?
For farming wise, I would definitely say that it's just Team Annihilation, because you just meet up in the middle and then you just swap killing each other for the match. So one person, goes like 36-0 and then gets 8,000 standing, and then the other person goes like and then the next match you do the same thing and they get 8,000 standing. But gameplay wise, I think Lunaro is heavily underrated, and I think with some tweaking and bug fixes and a lot less people memeing on it, it has potential to be a very interesting spectator sport.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jason's in protest. Like, he's been preaching that if people just gave a little bit more of a shit about Lunaro, everyone would love it.
If people gave Lunaro a chance, and if people if they add spectating to Lunaro matches, you should see what the pros can do. It's honestly insane.
Lunaro's pretty. I will admit, Lunaro, from the few times I played it, it was fun just to mess around.
Ever since I saw his name was Aragon, ever since I saw him in one of the Lunaro matches we did, and he did this incredible jump trick shot. It was super cool. I've always wanted to. I really pushed for a Lunaro segment on the show about the history, about the pros coming on and talking about it.
Maybe when we get a pro to talk about it. Also, Jason, all in the concalv. I just noticed that on the stream.
This is why I don't type fast.
All in the concalv.
You know what? Someone else can do the graphics for the next ever.
Just double check it in the content. Thank you, Kuba.
Thanks, Kuba. No one would have noticed it.
Let's see. Just before we go on to the next question that I actually typed out, what do you think of oh, never mind. That's another part. That's another thing. I'm just gonna keep going on. What am I saying? Conclave missions. What do you think about the Conclave missions?
I think
the standing they give you and the worth of the rewards that you would get out of increasing your standing and rank.
If DE wanted to spark more interest in Conclave, they should definitely increase the standing gain from the daily missions at least. I think the 50,000 with weeklies is fine, because max rank 50k will get you a weapon skin of your choice, which are amazing skins. They honestly look super nice. But the dailies, they only give here I'll look.
That's what you said, right? You're mostly in it for there's some actually pretty badass weapon skins, so they can't deny it.
Yeah, there's some nice weapon skins.
Okay, so this is complete one match. It's 500 standing. Why can't you bump that up to 1,000?
Yeah, you get
one headshot. Bump that up to 1,000.
You get 480 standing from doing one segment of a Valis mission. One segment of it, and that's not including if you get the bonus.
Yeah, really.
Sign down is pretty nice.
Becky or Logan, can you guys add up what the dailies give? Because I don't know if my 15k was accurate or not. So I'm just curious at this point.
I mean, I can't. I wouldn't know.
What's the next question?
Hold on.
Um,
Yeah, Logan, go ahead and ask it.
okay. So let's see. Sorry, Becky, did you just do the mission standing rewards?
Yeah.
Okay. So what would you say is the most underrated part of the Conclave?
Lunaro. By far. Lunaro is by far the most underrated and the most, shit on when it comes to people mentioning Conclave, and like people say Lunaro and laugh, and it's honestly one of the more interesting things that have come about Warframe, and it's a shame that the community let it go so fast. Like, there are a few bugs in it, and it would be, a pretty easy fix, but the fact that the community doesn't care about it means that DE won't look at it.
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess I missed the other half of the last question. When it comes to the rewards, I think some of the augments are pretty cool. But really, I'm just in it for the skins, because the skins are, they're amazing. Like you can make. I'm sure you guys have seen the movie Tron, but some of the weapon skins, you can really get like some good glows going on it. Here, I'll show you.
All right.
So if you look, this
total
is
for dailies. Your total for dailies is 12,500. If you do all the game modes.
this is the Sibara skin, and I think it looks very nice, very clean. Compared to like the Overload skin, I think the Sibara's the Conclave skin looks very nice. And then
It's
I
very
also
nice.
have the Cronin skin on, which is harder to see because of the stupid X that she does. If I do holster, maybe? No, I have to... There we go. You can see them better on her back. I think they look very nice. They just resonate Tron, and I'm such a big fan of Tron. I think it's one of Disney's most underrated series.
Is Tron Disney?
Tron is Disney, yeah.
Alright, what's your opinion on the Cephalons in Cephalon Capture?
Definitely some cute characters that I wish could be brought into PvE more.
Y'all don't understand. The Cephalons in Cephalon Capture are absolute cuties.
You look like you could take a look at Sark, and you can learn more about him from just the index. He is obsessed with fish and fish puns, and it's kind of disturbing to a point. Vol is an extremely sadistic, sweet-voiced Cephalon.
She sounds all cute and stuff, and she's like, oh, you're just standing here? Guess you'll watch out for snipers. And it's like, okay, madam.
And then there's
she hopes your skull gets crushed. She's crazy, and I love it.
There's Cephalon Apnar, who is always rooting for you, regardless of whether you're the good guy or the bad guy.
He's like, hi, I'm Cephalon Apnar, and I'll be your hostage for today.
Oh, what a guy!
It's so good. They're so good.
They're full of personality, and they don't see the light of day ever.
All right. So, I guess here's where the open discussion here comes, where Logan and I, since Jason's told us about his Conclave experiences, here's the open discussion. Why does Conclave fail in Warframe? Or more so, I guess, why does PvP just not work in Warframe?
Because people go into Warframe to have their power fantasy and power trip with spamming their abilities and using all their powers and one-shotting enemies. And Conclave takes a little bit of skill, and pressing 4 and room clearing doesn't. So it's a lot less popular because there's you don't get to have that power trip in the Conclave.
See, Jason, I like to think that before playing Conclave, you had a different opinion about it.
I did. I just joked on it the entire time because I'm genuinely not a fan of PvP.
Yeah,
ever.
Jason
Like I don't play Fortnite.
Like
I don't play Apex. I never played COD. I never played Halo multiplayer.
You played Valorant with Murph.
I play Valorant with Murph sometimes, but that's pretty much the only time I ever do competitive PvP shooters. And I still don't really enjoy Conclave, but I do think that there is a level of skill that needs to be brought into it, unless you are a filthy Telos Boltes user, in which I am ashamed to know you. So if you don't know, Telos Boltes has a passive ability where it will suck in enemies around it and ragdoll them, and it works in the Conclave, and people abuse the crap out of it. You just suck them in, they're ragdolled, and you just pop them in the head, and they're dead.
Yeah. See, I guess my opinion on why no one likes PvP is because people didn't come into Warframe to play PvP, and I'm not going to use the same reasoning behind that as Jason's power fantasy. I did not come into Warframe to have power
that's what
fantasy.
Warframe is. Warframe is a power fantasy.
No, Warframe shouldn't be a power
fantasy. Becky, how often do you smile when you press 4 and you see a room of enemies die when playing Siren?
I'm not actually strong enough to have an entire room of enemies die.
Okay, but how much do you like seeing your spore damage rise above 30,000?
First off.
Okay, you know what I mean, 3,000, whatever it was.
I never get up. See, you think that Of course I smile at that.
Okay, or when you use your Brahma and a group of enemies die.
And yeah, sure, with the Brahma, I have a little bit of a power trip, but when it comes to like using my Warframes,
Warframe does what no other game does. It gives you the tools to absolutely slaughter masses of enemies without a cooldown on your abilities. Like there's games like, Destiny that have like nuking and whatnot, and there's games like Risk of Rain 2, but even that has cooldowns. Warframe has no cooldowns as long as you have the energy to sustain the spamming, which of course you do. There's Energize, there's Trinity, there's Xeneric Dash, there's
Flow.
There's
and just putting on Flow.
There's Flow, Prime Flow, Streamline, Fleeting Expertise. All of those contribute to you having the tools to continue the power fantasy that you chose. That's probably the main reason you chose Warframe, for the flashiness and for the mobility. Because Warframe is one of the only games that has the insane parkour and mobility system that it does that I've ever seen.
Well, I personally don't think people don't play Conclave because they don't get to have their power trip. I personally don't think that's the reason. I think the reason is because Warframe has marketed itself as primarily, a PvE game where you fight against these AI factions and follow the story. And you build up clans and you trade.
Fox, I remember coptering too.
That's what I've said. It doesn't feel like it should be a PvP game, and I feel like especially with the movement, it's like I found I used to play COD when I was in elementary school. Is that what you call it? And it was when we got to COD, what was it, Future Warfare, and it started getting crazy, where it was all you were just wall running and jumping, and it was so fast paced it wasn't even fun. It's you're trying to walk straight and there's a dude sliding across a wall shooting you. You spawn and there's a dude shooting you in the face. It's with Warframe, you move around so fast. It's I feel like it would be so strange to play where you're just you're trying to run around, you get killed because some dude's a MR28 with a fully mastered build, and you're just walking around first time in PvP. So it's Warframe, it's it doesn't feel like it has, and I feel exactly like Becky said, it's more of markets itself more as a PvE game, where it's they don't even advertise that it has a PvP aspect.
Yeah, no, there is they used to try to push PvP by doing PvP events, but that hasn't happened for a while.
As Ludens is saying in chat, Conclave is a clunky movement shooter. Movement-heavy shooters already have a hard AF learning curve. Tries Ascend comes to mind and are a huge turn-off to most people.
Yeah, I personally, I didn't even really enjoy Conclave. I just did it to get the pretty stuff at the end. But I can understand why others might enjoy it, and why I don't think it necessarily deserves the bad rap it's received from the majority of the community. But I do think that the people who whined about medallions not working in Conclave, that they're wrong and that they should have worked and that they should work in Conclave. Because there's some people that just don't want to do the work, and if they do the work another way, which is grinding out medallions, which are still a rotation C drop rate on almost every map that would drop it. That's grind in and of itself. It probably takes longer to get. Honestly, it probably takes longer to get the medallions than it does to just play Conclave.
Yeah,
which
I've only
is
forgotten one medallion other than the one they give you.
I think from all the Lunaro farming, not the Lunaro farm, from all the Lua disruption farming I've done, which is probably the best way to get medallions in my opinion, because you get Axes alongside. But I've gotten maybe 3, and that's only 3,000 standing. That's 3,000 standing out of the, say you're like almost you're just starting out, so that might get you to the first level. But it's not going to get you much. It's not going to get you much farther than that. So to anyone who actually grinds that out, to get to the max rank is 99,000 standing. So that's 99 medallions. That's 99 rotation Cs.
No, thank you.
In best case scenario.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess Warframe's not really much of a. I think part of a little bit of what Jason said, a little bit of Logan and I said, Warframe's just not the kind of game where a system like Conclave does well. Now, I think we were discussing it like something like Lunaro. Lunaro is a meme, but it's a fun meme. It's like Frame Fighter. Sure, there's issues with it, and like nobody does it.
There's not as many issues with Lunaro as there is with Frame Fighter.
And
if you were just starting Lunaro, you wouldn't notice the issues. The issues only come about when you see the actual Lunaros playing. The Lunaro players talk about it and complain about it.
You gotta let me finish. I was about to say something good about it.
No, I mean, go ahead. I'm just talking. It's a discussion.
I know.
Objection. Phoenix,
Fuck up.
right?
Shut up. But, it's just that Lunaro would be fun. It would be something that I would, enjoy if it was something that more people played and it wasn't just for the farm. Because it's just something goofy. And that kind of PvP is okay. It's like how people do, Warframe racing. That's completely silly. But there are people.
That's another thing we should talk about on the show. Competitive Warframe racing and capture missions. That's one of the coolest things ever. I wonder if we could actually get Zandy Pants on the show. That'd be really cool if we could.
What was your record, Jason? Because I remember me and you were doing it like Wukong Rush.
Mine, I think it was like 48 seconds.
40 seconds?
I don't remember. I have to look. Because I sent it to you.
Like, okay, so easy part cheesy.
Yeah, but it's just something silly. If Warframe were to have PvP, but it wasn't necessarily like the combat PvP system they have now, or if they were to tweak it and make as one of Jason's friends said, and he plays strictly PvP games. Warframe doesn't interest him at all because it's primarily PvE. But he said that a way to maybe just fix the Conclave whole system is make it so that the main thing that takes it is skill over mostly everything. Do you remember exactly what he was saying, Jason?
Murphy said to eliminate. He said to put it on more like a cycle rotation. So every week it's new warframes and new weapons, and there's no limitations to what there are, and that would be the best way to balance. So yeah, you could have your Kuva Rama one week, but then you end up with, say, your Scourge and your Javelock the next week with, warframes of you got 10 or so to choose from kind of thing, even if you don't have them unlocked, which I think would be cool. Because it would give people a good place to, just get a feel for the warframe.
I still would be down with them, nerfing some of the mods you get and stuff, but objectively, there's always going to be one Warframe that's just better than another. But if you just limit how the rotation works,
Yeah, and if you know what you're doing, you're guaranteed to get a kill with the Telos Voltes, which is kind of unfair and shouldn't be, and that's why people push to remove it.
Jason's gonna ramble, but Jason has nightmares about the telescope phase.
No, it's just really frustrating when you just keep getting ragdolled and killed.
Valid.
Yeah, it makes the unfun farm even worse. But yeah, does anyone else have any comments to add?
Well, while they're doing that, go into our
I
very.
was asking you guys, to be honest.
Oh no, I don't. We
No,
got one last thing to mention before we wrap up today's stream, because we're at our 2-hour mark.
Mhm.
All right, so that's our stream for the most part. Now we have our last announcement about Tenno's next top model. If you are in the Discord server, you saw that I posted out a link for people to do a poll, like to take a survey or stuff. And I didn't take screenshots of this because I'm bad, but we're about to do some stats. Real stats time. So, overall, we only got about 10 responses. Big sad. We got quite a variety of types of responses. But the most common one, I say in air quotes, is to do a faction. Or to do factions themed, so any kind of factions. However, they're keeping it as like something broad, like factions, is a little broad because that includes not only like Corpus, Grenier, Infested, Orican, that kind of stuff, but then it also includes your Syndicates and your Fortuna and Ostron and Conclave even. You could even do Samaris. So, what we decided to do is that in this chat right now, while I go through our stats and go through how this capture is going to work, would you rather do factions or syndicates for this next week? Factions as in Orican.
Yeah. Good.
Like, Orican, Grenier, Infested, Corpus, that kind of stuff. Or would you rather do syndicates, such as New Loco, Red Veil, Steel Meridian kind of stuff? Well, a lot of the chat has their thing set in mind, so...
Factions. Okay.
So
thanks.
Yeah, no, Ludens, don't worry. That was coming up after this.
Yeah, that's what we're going into. Stats. On this theme, there was an optional survey that you could take about if you'd like this theme to be exclusively arsenal shots. And out of the 10 responses, 60% says capture is fine, 40% says only shots from the arsenal. When it comes to being a less of a focus on the capture side of Fashion Frame, it's a 50-50 split. Out of the 10, it's maybe it was that we never allowed them. It's just that, you know, it's...
Yeah, I mean, after the first one, I kind of pushed more for Captura, so that's on me. But it was never declined. If anyone submitted an arsenal shot, it was never turned away. But you are right, Fox. I could see why you would say that allowing those and thinking that we didn't allow them was there, because we always said, Captura contest or, submit your Captura shot kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which,
So,
probably bad on my part.
Yeah. So Tenno's next top model is for both. So there was a 50-50 split on less focus on the Captura side of Fashion Frame. So for this Captura, this one, not Captura, for this contest, I see words. This one will be exclusively arsenal shots for this one. We'll see how it goes, because we want to make sure that
everyone's included. You don't need to be good at Captura to feel like you won't.
Kind of funny to have this on the very Captura centered episode. So
yeah.
Yeah. So these are arsenal shots. You can deck out your arsenal when you send us a screenshot. You can give
The
us a
arsenal
front and back
background
kind of
won't be
thing.
considered.
Yeah, this is strictly
Fashion.
based on the fashion of your Warframe.
We're going for
And
fashion for warframes, weapons. That's it. However
with
you want to show off.
I guess the 5 major factions. Well, I don't think we should count Tenno because they're kind of already Tenno. So 4, I guess then. So Corpus, Grenier, Infested, and Orican.
It's the opportunity to use the infested palette.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, Ludens. Maybe we should make a challenge where you he can only use the infested palette.
Only the Infested palette. Just Sentience.
Sentience.
I almost
Oh
forgot
no,
about
that's why you were
Sentience.
pushing it. I already
Alright.
know what's coming here.
Sentinets.
It's okay, I can't spell either, as we can see.
So the 5 factions.
Yes, your base enemy factions.
Yeah. So even though Tenno is kind of a faction, can't do Tenno.
I'm looking forward to what you guys cook up.
So what was I gonna say? Don't be discouraged from doing. Okay, don't steal. No stealing fashions.
If you do, don't tell us first. Someone will be like, wow, that's great. Fox, I can't believe it. Or sorry, Nightingale.
Yeah.
Like, wow, Nightingale, that's crazy Nightus. I can't believe you made it yourself.
Yeah, totally.
We'll give you number 1.
I'm also ready for a low-key 50 Grax fashion.
Yeah,
but
I'm
no,
looking
don't be
forward to seeing
discouraged
what we
from
get.
trying any specific fashion. You don't have to worry about trying to make a fashion that looks good in the scene. Just make something in your arsenal, and you've got all week to do it. Alright, so we'll make sure there's a post on the Twitter and on submissions and all that kind of stuff about this theme being based on factions, not including syndicates. Maybe we'll do syndicates next time, who knows.
No, you won't, Flowers.
You will be fine. Trust me, I'm just
sure
bad at Captura,
everyone's
but
gonna
I
do
think
great.
my frames look great.
Everyone's gonna do great.
And if I may, if you are not already in the Discord, click the link down below to join. That's where you can find us pretty much every day hanging out. We love to talk to you guys. There's information sections, question and answers, pretty much everything, as well as just sharing capturas.
We vibe in VC a lot.
We got the Twitter now, so CephalonChat on Twitter, CephalonChat on YouTube, and CephalonChat on Instagram. We're going to try to be posting updates when we're going to be streaming, as well as like highlights if we can, or at least like pictures from the streams. Other than that, thank you everyone for coming out today. Great to see y'all again.
Yeah, if anyone's in the chat and you guys aren't following the show, make sure you hit that follow button so you can be notified when we go live. And it also helps us, get a little bigger so we can get some more voices.
One subscriber will be a Becky eyebrow reveal on Twitter.
Exactly.
We can't even have
We can't have subs yet because we're not close enough. All right,
yeah.
I think that's everything.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, see you guys.
Thanks for hanging around, guys. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Easy.